Alright, what's going on, Mortal Kombat community? This is Nightmare here. Welcome to another one of my DLC thought videos. Whatever you want to call them. Ideas, thoughts, random moments, random brain sparks for downloadable Mortal Kombat X content. Something that is very sour in the mouths of a lot of people. Right now, I'm going to be talking about stages, downloadable stages. Now, if you'll recall, if you didn't watch it, you should, but in my last video, I mentioned stage fatalities. In this one, when I talk about stages, I'm going to be talking about stage fatalities as well, but they're linked to specific stages. Now, if these stages were implemented without the fatalities, I wouldn't care. I just want to fight in these areas for nostalgic purposes, for just cool new background purposes, all that kind of stuff, all different reasons. But let's get right on to it with the first downloadable stage, Homelands of New Characters. Now, as we all know, if you play MKX, you know that D'Vorah is a race of creature called Chitin. Chitin, whatever, bugs. She is a part of a specific race of chitins, whatever, bug lady people. I don't know if they're all bug ladies, but whatever. Her homeland would be a fun DLC stage. Seeing where Ferrotora came from would be a fun DLC stage. Being able to... Well, Kotal Khan's kind of got his own stages. But, Tarkatan stage for Baraka, even though he's not in the game. That would be cool. I don't know if there's a Shira Ryu specific stage. But that would be fun to play as. Just all sorts of stuff. A cage fighter stage from the comic books, like a cage stage, a cage arena, something like that. That'd be cool. It wouldn't have a lot of interactables or anything like that, but it would be fun. Stuff like that. Just different homelands, different different stages themed to different characters. And next on my list, I'm having a very difficult time transitioning here, but next on my list is a tournament arena stage place, but the kick is it's abandoned. Since the tournament has already happened, you wouldn't have, and Shao Kahn's dead, you obviously wouldn't have Shao Kahn sitting in a chair watching the tournament. You wouldn't have Shang Tsung in a game that he's not in, just watching. Stuff like that. You could have a desolate tournament area, a beaten up, scorched tournament area, a forgotten about tournament area. Or bring back the tournament area with Shinnok sitting in the throne. Whatever. Just some way to bring back the tournament idea, the tournament stage idea. Next on my list for stages is a fun one. Acid Pool stage. I don't remember what the name of the stage was called in previous games, but I just always called it the Acid Pool stage because that's what it was. It was like a giant bridge, like a long walkway, and on either side was just a big old pool of acid, this green, oozy, bubbling acid, and there were hooks, and there were bodies floating in the acid that were deteriorating because, well, they're in acid. This would be one of those stages that would be cool to bring back with new gen graphics and a new stage fatality where you kick them onto a hook and they hook on and then they dip into the acid pool and they just die and they come back up. Like, I think that was one in an old game where you put them on the hook and they dip into the acid and they come up all bones, not even skin and bones, because their skin's all gone and burned off and melted. Just bones on a hook. And this is one of those nostalgic stages because everybody knows the acid pool. Everybody who plays the original MK games recognizes the acid pool. But the most iconic stage in Mortal Kombat history is the next one I'm going to talk about that I would like to see as DLC, the pit stage or the bridge stage. Whichever one you called it. I called it the pit stage because that's what it was to me, because it was the stage with the giant bridge, and at the end you would uppercut your opponent and they would do that long fall to the ground, the bridge. You'd knock them off the bridge and they would fall into the pit below and land on spikes. That was also the stage that introduced us for the first time to Reptile. You get double flawlesses. In one of the games, I think the rule was you got to get double flawlesses on the pit stage, and a specific shadow had to go across the moon. And if you did both of those, got double flawlesses with the pit stage going across the moon, you would enter a secret fight against Reptile. And this was the first time Reptile was a secret fight, and that's cool. That Reptile, a character we all know and love now, was created in this stage. Well, he wasn't created in the stage, but he was created from a secret fight that this stage gave us. And that's one of the reasons I want it back. Another reason is for the stage fatality. The classic stage fatality. The uppercut and then fall down to the spikes below. It'd bring back a lot of good memories of ending lives to combatants. But the stage I want to see return the most is a stage I've grown to love because of the fatality attached to it, or the stageality attached to it. The Living Forest. Boy, how cool! I would pay $2 at least to fight on the Living Forest stage. The Living Forest stage is my single favorite Mortal Kombat stage, because just the looks of the trees as they look like they're talking. It would be cool if in this stage, like if you win on the stage, they could talk, maybe, or again bring back the classic stage fatality where you kick them into the tree and the tree eats them to death. Like, yeah, just no more Reptile for you, because you beat Reptile in the secret fight. But it'd be awesome to do. It'd be great to do. The Living Forest is something that I would love to be able to use these new combatants in. It'd be great. It's no. But yeah, the Living Forest, there's not a lot to say about the Living Forest. It looked eerie, it looked creepy. That's why I liked it. The stage fatality was why I liked it. But I think from here on out, I'm just going to say stageality, because the stage fatality is taking too much of my time. But the stageality linked to this stage was great. The concept of it was cool, and just the overall way it was done. Another stage that I just thought of now, the Soulnado. And I want this specifically for the stage fatality, or the stageality, where you could knock them into the Soulnado and it just rips them apart. Because with the new gen technology, that would look pretty awesome. Oh, at the end of this video, I'm going to be adding on to my last video, so be prepared for that. But the last thing I could think of when it came to stages is DLC specific character stages. DLC character specific stages, like an Edenia stage for Tanya, a desert rocky type stage, Black Dragonese type stage, or whatever they're gonna do for Tremor. A stage from one of the Predator movies. I don't know what those stages were, because I didn't watch the Predator movies, but just pull something from the Predator movies and use that as an area you can fight in, or a stage or something like that. And the one I'd be excited for the most, a Camp Crystal Lake stage. Yes, let us have a Camp Crystal Lake stage, so that way Jason finally has home field advantage and he's not out of place. That'd be amazing. Tell me you wouldn't love to take Jason to the Camp Crystal Lake stage and take your least favorite character, Raiden, and just fatality him in your home, and just relive, make your own Friday the 13th right there in Mortal Kombat X, thanks to the Camp Crystal Lake stage. Friday the 13th, number 13 or whatever number they're up to. Welcome to Mortal Kombat. Something like that. That'll do it though for... I've really got to find a better way for these transitions. If you think of one, let me know. That'll do it for my stage talk. However, in my last video, and again I have to do this because I don't have editing software, so you're just going to have to deal with it in this video, I mentioned costumes. I don't believe I mentioned this. Classic costumes for everybody. Everybody needs classic costumes. I want to see classic costumes for characters like, I think Melina already has one, but classic costumes for characters who were technically never classic. Never had them. Like a classic looking Kenshi costume, a retro looking Liu Kang costume, a throwback Kung Lao. And I definitely want to see what the new characters would look like old school style. I want to see what Devora would have looked like in Deception, or what Kotal Khan would have looked like in Armageddon, or what Ferrotora would have looked like in Mortal Kombat 3. Something like that would be amazing. But guys, this has been Nightmares DLC idea thoughts stages. Tune in next time for what everybody loves, fatalities. I wish I had the little finish him fatality sound effect, but I don't. Okay, guys. As you all know from the intro of this video, I'm Nightmare. Thank you for watching, and until next time, Nightmare out.